Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of the 3D aquarium. And today is actually going to be a pretty simple day. Part 2, just color in your aquarium. Pretty simple. You can use anything that you have around you to be able to color in. Crayons, I use colored pencils a lot for mine, as well as watercolor paints. Just because I did not want to use marker, only because of the fact that I would have to use a lot of it, and I know that some of your markers are probably fading away and not working too well. So I stayed away from marker. Colored pencils last me a long time, so I'm just going to show you right away. Here's my finished product right here. There it is. I use colored pencils for everything in my picture except the water. I just thought that using colored pencil would be too much. I wanted a more watered, kind of flat look instead of seeing all the lines of the pencil. So that's where I use watercolor paint. I just used my standard watercolor paint tray, and I have a light blue in there, so I did that. But remember, if you don't have watercolors, and I remember a project back a ways, I asked you to use watercolor paints, and some of you said you didn't have any. Well, remember that there's a cheap, easy way how to be able to make watercolor paints. All you need is a Ziploc bag. You just need the outside, marker, a cup of water, and a paintbrush. So if you get your plastic bag, just color some blue on the outside of the bag. Get your paintbrush, mix a little bit of water with the paint, and then you just begin. And you can just add the paints as you go. So this is a simple fix if you do not have a watercolor paint tray. Watercolor paint trays are pretty cheap. They're at Target, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Arts and Crafts. A set of Crayola or Prang watercolor paints are actually relatively cheap, and they last a very long time if you take care of them. And they come with a brush too. So explore that if you can. It's just good to have a lot of art supplies. I colored in everything as accurately as I could, with the animals and the sea creatures as much as I possibly could. I did like this wooden floor look, and then I put red doors. I wanted to stay away from blue anywhere in my project just because I knew that I was going to be using a lot of blue for the water. So I tried not to use blue for anything, except I do have like my surgeonfish, which is like Dory over there. So I have like the walls, the railing I have gray, and the walls I have greens, and then my floor is supposed to look like wood planks. So I just used some different browns there. Otherwise, friends, that's about it. Your coloring should be full. The only spots that you should leave white in this whole picture is anything that you actually have white on the sea creature. So if I have like an orca right here, it does have white on it, so I left it blank for those spots. Otherwise, color in pretty much everything in the whole picture. So just make sure that you choose the right supply for it. Again, if you know your markers are fading, don't use markers too much. Use crayon or colored pencil, something that'll last you longer. And then watercolor paints was a great choice just for the water, because I didn't want to use marker, and I figured the light color of that reflects a little bit better with the animals that are in there, instead of having a really dark blue or anything like that. But next goal, just color it in, guys. This is it. Just whenever you're done, take a picture of it, put it up on Seesaw. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. So good luck, have fun, and just do the best that you can.